Hey, good morning, class. This is Mr. Creighton. If you have not opened your sketchbook to the notes section, please do so. What we're going to do is we're going to spend a few minutes just going over the last set of color theory terms before you can work on your color wheel or before you can finish your color wheel, that is. So again, please open your sketchbook to the notes section, and then I'll start going over those terms. So if you remember from earlier this week, you are currently wrapping up the tertiary color, so that is the outside ring of colors. So simply meaning a primary and a secondary color mixed together in order to create a lighter or darker version of that color. So something like yellow green or green blue, like we talked about earlier this week. So I believe you guys should all have your sketchbook open now, so I'm going to move on. All right, guys, so the first color theory term we're going to cover is analogous. So we're going to cover 4 terms, and then you have time to work. It's a weird sounding word, but again, that is analogous. So analogous colors are groups of color that are adjacent to each other on the color wheel. And again, just like any other presentation, guys, just write down what's only in bold. But again, analogous colors are groups of color that are adjacent to each other on the color wheel. I'm going to break this down pretty simply because I'm not going to teach it a whole lot. I'll come back and cover this stuff on Monday. But if you don't know what adjacent means, it just means colors that are next to each other. So simply, it's colors that are consecutive. So if you look at any section of the color wheel, so that could be orange and yellow orange, orange red, that could be blue and green blues, yellow greens, yellow. So any colors that are next to each other. So think about a specific section, like, and you see in the examples below, specifically that one that has the white and gray template, you can see an entire section is next to each other, and that's what we consider analogous. And traditionally, we use those colors because it creates a sense of unity, and especially if you're trying to paint a flower like the one on the right and make parts lighter and darker. Well, that flower is orange, and there's areas in that flower that are yellow orange and orange red, so all that stuff fits together. So I'm going to keep this thing moving so you have time to work on your color wheel. So I'm not really going to go over this question in this section specifically, but just know that again, analogous colors are used all over the place because they do fit together and they are similar. So you'll see them in logos, branding, posters, etc. But again, because I'm not here to teach you this, I'm not going to really go over it. We can go over it on Monday. So next term is complementary or complementary, however you want to pronounce this thing. But the definition for complementary colors will be colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. And again, please write down the parts that are in bold. So complementary colors that are opposite of each other on the color wheel. And one reason why that's important to you guys, so keep writing, is essentially when you have one color next to a color that is way more intense or darker than that color, it makes it easy to see. So they complement each other. So if you have a green next to red, that green stands out. If you have orange next to blue, the orange stands out. If you have violet next to yellow or gold, that gold or violet would stand out. So again, it's the same thing as analogous colors. You'll see them a lot in branding and logos and etc. Because it makes it more intense. So if you look at these paintings below, or you look at those boxes above, you can see how that basically gives you contrast. Remember, contrast is the difference between two colors or values, but you can tell how the strawberry stands out next to green. The violet vase stands out next to the tan and yellows and gold. The orange flower on the right stands out next to blue. So it just makes it more intense so that way you can easily see that color. And the last terms of the day are keep it moving, but you can see how we use it in logos because it makes the color pop. Bam. Warm and cool. So basically, warm colors give off a psychological feeling of warmth. Think about the sunlight. Again, warm is color that gives off a psychological feeling of warmth. Think about that sun, because we're almost headed to the summer. But really, all you want to think about is just the temperature of a color. That's the easiest way to think about warm and cool. So if you look at the color wheel on the left, well, obviously, yellow, red, and orange are warm. They are similar to sunlight. And all those tertiary colors, all those little guys on the outside of the ring are also warm. For cool, cool is color that gives off a psychological feeling of coolness. So again, cool is color that gives off a psychological feeling of coolness. Think about that moonlight. So essentially, it's any color that's not warm. So things like blue, green, violet, not purple. So again, that's green, blue, and violet. And then all those little guys on the outside ring, aka the tertiary colors, those are all cool. If you actually look at those colors, the way they're grouped, they are also all analogous. They're all next to each other too as well. All the cool colors and all the warm colors, they all fit. So if you're still writing this down, take a second. I'm just going to give you some instructions just to make sure we're all on the same page. Remember, guys, at this point, you are currently working on your color wheel. The color wheel is due on Monday. Again, that is the due date on Monday. So you have the rest of this class in which to get it done. Each section of the tertiary colors must be a different color. Again, each section of the tertiary colors must be a different color. If they are too similar, I cannot give you points for both. So again, if two colors look similar or they are identical, I can only give you a point for one. So each one must progress from light to dark in order to receive the full amount of points. If you finish your color wheel early, which some of you guys may have or will do in class today, you must actively work on something. So that is a classroom expectation. You must actively work on something. You have a couple of options. The first option is if you want to grab a resource book and draw on your sketchbook, you are welcome to do that. So again, if you want to grab a resource book and then draw on your sketchbook, you are welcome to do that. Secondly, you are allowed to do any homework. If you have not turned in your open note quiz for me, that is priority one. You must get that done right now because it should have already been taken care of. So again, the open note quiz you must complete right now. You're also welcome to work on any homework for other classes, but you must finish your open note quiz for me. And third, you are welcome to grab a tablet from the counter and use that as long as it's on silent. You are welcome to use a tablet from the counter. So again, the options are resource books and drawing your sketchbook, get homework done, especially that open note quiz. Come on, guys. And then lastly, you are welcome to use a tablet from the counter. Please make sure you're respectful to Ms. Seabarth. Make sure you are seated and working, and you are focused on the task at hand. Blessings on your weekend, guys. I'll see you on Monday.